Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, Tasmania Police is hoping its new task force, bolstered with patrols, drug detection dogs and drones, will help drive down crime rates in Hobart's northern suburbs, especially among youths. But local MPs say the government should be investing in early intervention programs.
It's been the centre for callous crime of late, with youths running riot.
Do you feel safe in this area, even?
Never.
And kids around, they come in and out of here.
It's not on, it's just they need more control, make them pay for the crime they do.
We acknowledge the seriousness of these individual incidents, but do provide reassurance to the public.
Police now watching Glenorchy like a hawk and extending operations into nearby Claremont and Moona, boosting officers on the beat, targeting antisocial behaviour and crime.
The intent of Task Force Respect is to provide high levels of public reassurance whilst holding those people to account that are offending.
Rolling out high visibility patrols, drug detection dogs and drones.
Not only through our daylight hours but also the evenings when people are using our public spaces.
Good idea, it's about time it happened.
Repeat offenders and youths will be the focus for authorities. TasPol data showing just 57 people accounted for half of the total youth crime charges last year, but no one is out of the woods.
We will certainly target any offending, whether that be youth, adult or otherwise.
The recent spate of crimes continuing to spark concern from local MPs, calling for the state government to allocate more resources.
This underinvestment in early intervention programs is having a catastrophic effect on our young people, and we need the government urgently to invest in funding. They have a chance in this upcoming budget to demonstrate their commitment to our children of the future.
More funding to go into therapeutic support for young people, to what we know, what the evidence shows is what will do, is what is effective in reducing crime, keeping communities safe.
These things are being worked through right now. As has been said, it's not a one solution to solve this problem. It's a complex issue. It needs a full comprehensive a body of work.
Rebecca Gaidenera, 7 Tasmania News.
Legislation which would force the state government to get approval from Parliament before privatising Aurora Energy is being proposed by the opposition. Dean Winter wants to undo loopholes introduced by the former Labor government in 2012, which would allow the GBA to be sold off without scrutiny.
This is legislation to take away Jeremy Rockliff's ability to sell the business. Right now, Jeremy Rockliff can sell Aurora Energy, put more pressure on households that are already doing it tough.
It's not surprising that Dean Winter's flip-flopped and backflipped again. Our focus is on ensuring that we take a methodical and reasonable approach.
The government is reviewing privatisation options for all state-owned companies except Hydro Tasmania. McQuary Point Stadium is shaping up to be a hot-button topic in the upcoming upper house elections. While both major parties support the project, independents aren't revealing their hand as the Greens step up their campaign against it.
Legislative Council elections for 3 seats are fast approaching, and their results could throw another hurdle in front of Tasmania's entry into the AFL.
It's got to be properly assessed. We can't abandon proper process. We have to make sure that the state's finances can adequately cater for a stadium.
Pounding the pavement over the past few months across the Pembroke electorate, the former upper house member says McQuary Point Stadium is polarising.
In terms of the way it's been managed, there's a lot of confusion.
First-time Greens candidate Carly Allen's also challenging for the Eastern Shore seat.
Labor votes with Liberals 90% of the time. You know, this isn't a democratic system.
As the party steps up its criticism of the project, urging Pembroke voters to preference Labor last.
This election is crucial to the fate of the McQuary Point Stadium.
We don't need 3 stadiums, we already have 2.
But the state's opposition leader is confident Luke Edmonds will get across the line.
He's known People know that he fights for them. They know he's a renter, he's a local family, his kids go to the local public school.
Some experts say while the incumbent will be hard to beat come next Saturday's vote, it could be a tight race.
This one's got to finish up as Labor versus Independent. That's a bit of a different dynamic and may make it closer, but we will see.
And though the Liberals' priorities are on their candidates for the other 2 seats up for election, the Premier's Stadium ultimatum still stands.
If the Legislative Council does not pass the legislation to deliver a stadium, there will be no team. No stadium, no team. We cannot be clearer than that.
If it's not good enough, that's not the fault of the Legislative Council.
Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
The hard truths of road safety have been brought home to students in the state's northwest as part of National Road Safety Week. The program covered a range of topics, including sharing the road with trucks and the impact of collisions.
They can make choices that will keep them and other road users safe.
Keeping concentration and making sure you know what you're doing and staying vigilant of other drivers.
Organisers hoping today's lessons have hit home. When you think of an archaeological dig, this probably isn't what comes to mind. A high-tech ground-penetrating radar is peering underground at Launceston's Braemar Cottage, looking for remnants of old buildings.
This is one of the earliest buildings in Launceston that still remains from that very early period, and certainly the only small-scale settler farmer building farm complex.
They've already unearthed artefacts and found them hidden inside the ceiling and cellar.
Any artefacts that we found have been cleaned up by an archaeologist and a conservator, and they'll be stored ready to go back on display.
Council is doing the work before finding future uses for the cottage. The upcoming state budget includes big money to help the government meet its promises on housing. $500 million more is being thrown at the project. That's on top of $1.5 billion already earmarked.
$500 million over the next 4 years, keeping the government on track to meet its ambitious social and affordable housing targets.
We know just how important it is to deliver roofs over the heads of Tasmanians, whatever their age and stage.
Today's announcement welcomed by industry.
The building and construction industry is very good for Tasmania and very good for the economy.
We recognise the benefits for the Tasmanian community as well, with not only social housing but the flow-on effects from this and the wider economy as a whole.
The government says the upcoming budget strikes the right balance with support for those looking to get into home ownership.
We'll be continuing to extend our policy to stamp out stamp duty for first home buyers. We'll also be continuing to roll out our 2% deposit My Home scheme.
But the opposition and the Greens delivering a hammer blow to the government's announcement, saying it's all just smoke and mirrors.
In 6 years they've built 6 homes. You can't take Felix Ellis or Jeremy Rockcliffe seriously on anything to do with housing. They continue to fail.
It's obvious that the Liberals don't really care to do what is needed in the space of housing.
The government says it's ahead of schedule, delivering more than 4,000 homes towards its target of 10,000.
That includes social housing, that includes affordable housing. It also includes important investments in crisis accommodation.
Matthew Watson, 7 Tasmania News.
The National Association of Women in Operations has expanded its reach across Bass Strait. It's aiming to help more women join male-dominated industries here, working with Tasmanian businesses to address the systemic barriers to women's participation.
We know that skills and talent are really important for Tasmanian industry, and we can only bring the amount of skills and talent into industry by looking at the whole population.
To have them here as a voice, really encouraging women right across some of the industries that do tend to be male dominated, is really exciting for our state.
The group advocates for gender balance across sectors such as manufacturing, mining, energy and transport. And while Tasmania's unemployment rate has reached an all-time low, it's fallen behind the rest of the country on another key workforce metric. New Bureau of Statistics data shows Tasmania's participation rate dropped by more than 2 percentage points since April 2023, trailing the nation by nearly 7%. Despite unemployment sitting just under 4%, the Tasmanian Chamber of Commerce and Industry says it regards participation as the real measure of how the state is faring. CEO Michael Bailey says the group wants to work with the government to make the issue a key focus in the upcoming state budget.
The new SFL men's coach is feeling spoilt for choice as he begins narrowing down a final squad for next month's rep clashes with the NTFA and NWFL.
The form of some of the older players like Sam Siggins and Bryce Walsh has been outstanding, but also some of the youth coming through. So we're going to have a really good combination of young and old in our squad.
Injured player Michaela Bin steps up to coach the NTFA women alongside Ash Smith, but deep down she'd rather be playing.
I think being able to coach, I'm up there, and yeah, I'm a part of the group, so it's going to be really hard to watch them run out and play.
North Launceston coach Adrian Smith leads the NTFA men. The Melbourne Mavericks are expecting a few surprises from the Queensland Firebirds, and they face off at MyState Bank Arena on Saturday, but they're fully prepared to face Mary Chollock for the first time, the tallest player in Super Netball.
We all know Mary's very tall, but you can't teach height, but in the best way, we get around the defenders and we help them in any way, shape or form.
The Mavs are hunting their second win in round 6 for their Tassie home game. The benefits of her first pro contract go well beyond the paycheck for Greater Northern Raider Ava Curtis, becoming the first female to be handed a one-year rookie deal with the Tigers today. The teenager is looking forward to learning from the best.
Just honing down on those skills that you obviously don't get to work on as much when you're training only a couple of days a week after school. So it'll be nice to train a bit more.
With 609 runs for the season, she's the CTPL's second highest run scorer behind Emma Mannix-Jeeves, who's also signed a one-year deal today with 55 Tassie games already under her belt. And hopefully they can help us secure another WNCL trophy next season, Kim.
Go girls. Thank you, Nick. We'll take a break now and then Murph will join us with the weather forecast.
Good evening. Well, here we are on the eve of Walk Safely to School Day. So if you are driving on the roads tomorrow, please be aware of those embarking on that exercise. And if you've just heard about it now, why don't you join in? Around the state today, Hobart, St Helens, Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park all on our high of 19. Launceston recorded 18, Devonport 16 and Burnie 17 degrees. Cressy and Fingal our low with -1, Grove and Flinders Island 18, King Island 17, Smithton and Lowhead 16 today, Strawn 15, Lyawini a top of 12. We did have a few isolated showers over the west today with heavier cloud cover over that region. Bit of scattered cloud moved over the rest of the state. Large areas of cloud over Queensland and northern New South Wales, more along the southern coastline of the country. Tomorrow a cold front approaches from the southwest, high pressure gradients the main feature over the mainland. The northwesterly winds at 30 knots over the southwest will tend west-southwesterly at 15 to 25 knots in the afternoon. And here we have the warning, a strong wind warning for waters from Tasman Island around and up to Sandy Cape. Hobart 16 tomorrow with a shower or two. 16 also for Huonville, showers increasing. Campania a top of 17 degrees. A top of 17 for Launceston and partly cloudy. Cloudy for Devonport, 16 the high and 16 also for Georgetown. Burnie expecting 16 as well and partly cloudy weather, a shower for Strawn, 15 the top and 16 for Wynyard. St Helens a high of 18 degrees and partly cloudy, same for Swansea, 17 the top for Port Arthur but a few showers there. On Saturday things cool somewhat with a frosty start and showers over the west and south and snow to 500 metres. Widespread morning frost on Sunday followed by a mostly fine and sunny day apart from a shower over the west, and on Monday a possible shower for Strawn but fine for the remainder of the state. 26 in Perth and all clear, a shower in Adelaide, a cloudy 19 in Melbourne, showers easing from Sydney 21 and showers on the way for Brisbane. Partly cloudy right now in Hobart, 13, 12 degrees in Launceston and also 12 in Devonport. Walk safely to school day, Kim, in its 26th year. Of course, we're helping promote walking safely to school every day, not just tomorrow.
Glad to clarify. Thanks, Murph. And that is all your news for this Thursday. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Good night.